What up, guys and gals? It's Ark here. Today we're gonna be playing It Gets So Lonely Here. It's by Ebihime. Yeah, I remember playing another Ebihime game that I actually really liked a lot. And yeah, I forgot what the name of it was. I'll probably remember later, I don't know. That's to do with grandpa and a doll, I think. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But yeah, it's a visual horror novel. And yeah, let's start off, because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna. I'll be honest, I just saw the title, and I just decided to go for it. Besides, you're running through a forest. It is late at night, and the sky is black as pitch. Nice. There's nothing to light your way for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach you, not properly. The trees which surround you, just getting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are balled up with the most of light. Cool! You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour. However, without the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. Okay, so we're lost in the forest. You do not know where you are going. You have no map, no route, no plan. You're running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. Cool. You have no desire as you run to escape. Ah, cool, my English is stupid right now. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. What? You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going, on and on and on, though your feet are screaming at you for mercy. You have no idea how long you have been running. I want to know what the hell I'm doing. Time has begun to blend together, and has lost all meaning. Something sharp snacks you at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Cool, we're running on a skirt, awesome. Instead you tug. Oh god, we're gonna rip our underwear. Your skirt tears, the sound flooding through the forest, and you stumble forwards with a shocked gasp. Yeah, well, I mean, what'd you expect? You are free, but at what cost? Your skirt has been irrevocably damaged. Dude, if I'm running in the forest and I'm lost and I have a skirt because I'm gonna be Scottish, I won't care about my things for the time being. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon, she will catch you. Who will catch me? Then your life will be over. You do not know if she's still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. Cool, so we're getting chased, nice. You would see her, silhouetted beneath the tree, looking at you with a sickly sweet smile which once ensnared you. You would lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up and your blood would freeze in your veins. So okay, so I'm running away. Okay, that's all I'm getting so far. Then you would crumble. Okay, so we're a girl then. We're a girl running away from another girl. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. Did she not promise when you made that contract that you would never be alone? You would like to take that silly wish of yours. But it is too late for that. It's too late for a lot of things. Well, time is of the essence. You could do whatever you can with this time, make it everything's right. All you can do is run. Running in the forest, you run and run and run while icy fog swirls about your feet. Dude, we're running on a skirt. Well, yeah, it's cold as hell. It's cold enough to sap the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. That's what I said. It feels as though you are drowning. Well, dude, we're running. We're running. It feels as though you are being buried alive. Well, dude, nah, don't take that. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are... Oh, God, so it must have been a tough pull then. You cannot endure much more of this. But if you value your own life, you must. Well, yeah, let's keep on running. You run and run and run until, at long last, you reach a fork in the road. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double check back on yourself though. Not when you have put so much effort into running forwards. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sign given you are so deep in the forest. Again, maybe people get lost all the time. Dark thoughts might be. You have grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just about pick up the writing on this old, dilapidated signpost, curved and slanted through it. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliché, is in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? What? I get to choose? Fuck! No! We're gonna save! Oh god, we're gonna save! Oh god, no! No, we're going back. Alright. Go to the shore, go to the village, or go to the oh god, these are all horrible options. If we go to the village, we might RE4 ourselves. If we go to the shore, we might actually get Silent Hilled. If we go to the castle, we're gonna get Castlevania'd. Hush! We're going RE4, fuck it. So you want to go to the village? Good idea. Let's see what further trials await you there. Well, we're gonna get chainsawed. This night is far from over, as much you might wish it was. There's still so much more to discover. I wonder what will happen next. I want to know that too! I want to see what the hell's gonna happen to us. You follow the path which leads you to the village, supporting yourself on weary, aching limbs, which feels ready at a moment's notice, to snap at the knee beneath the burden of your weight. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down and quickly. Your only hope, as you continue to run, that you will find a suitable residence which to rest at the village. You do not know what will await you at the village, but you have visions as you run of a quietly scenic settlement, all thatched cottages with sloping roofs. Also, I heard her. I don't know if you guys heard her, but I heard her breathing. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. You can imagine, too, the face of this kindly peasant from the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. Okay, well, it looks like we're noble. She will be broad-shouldered and ruddy-faced, with dull brown hair crammed beneath a cap. Her arms will be sturdy from many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like a mother. You do not know what mothers sound like. You hardly ever spoke to yours. Okay, so cool. So okay, we're royalty, got it, or we're nobilism. You are only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Peasants do not, as you know from your voracious reading, have much money, nor do they have much food. It might be hard to convince the residents of the village, even the kindly washerwoman of your fantasies, to take a complete stranger in. Still, you must try. Well, dude, I think we're gonna get screwed. That is all you can do, really. Cool, we're in a village. So you run to the village. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you made it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? Yeah, you were right there, but I want to know what the hell's happening more. The forest is behind you now, at least in all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is still cold, though, and still foggy. It looks like a Scottish settlement latte, or maybe like a Spanish settlement. It is still dark, too. I could see it somewhat. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the village, nested among the hills like a diorama. Hope a new bubble within you. You have finally made it. Sure not till your salvation awaits you? Let's find out salvation. You follow the wandering dirt path to the village, looking this way and that. But your hope, such as the precious fragile thing, soon begins to fade. The village up close does not look half as welcome as you imagined. There are cottages, yes, But they are in a state of disrepair. Oh, we went into a poor village. There are holes in the roofs and holes in the windows. One of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchen beyond them is even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. Ah, shit, I fucked up. There are no lights on in any of the windows, and neither can you see any people. Insomniacs like you at them. You cannot hear anything, either beyond the sound of your own footsteps and the low, mournful sighing of the wind. The village is quite quiet, eerily so. It is immediately obvious, even to a naive girl such as yourself, that something terrible must have befallen this village. Oh god, I was joking about the Resident Evil 4 shit! You know, before you try your luck at one of the houses, that nobody will answer you. There will be no kindly red-armed washerwoman to welcome you here, no matter how much you wish for it. Dude, I was just shits and giggling about the Resident Evil 4 shit. God damn it. But that does not stop you from wishing regardless. He raps modestly against the wooden door. You have some proof, however, to be in vain. There's nobody here to hear your entries. How very sad. You try another door, and then another, but it's all the same regardless of how many doors you rap upon. Nobody answers you. How could they? There is nobody here. Wait, there's nobody here? Once again, you find yourself all alone. You should have found some dwelling which you can rest your weary head. Will you utilize one of these cottages for your purpose? Nobody is here. You might as well. But no, an abandoned cottage is not what you're looking for. You would far rather have companionship, would you not? Bravely, you swallow your tears, you wipe your eyes with the back of your arms, the well-practiced motion, and then inhale. You square your shoulders, and you keep on going. Surely the village is going to be completely deserted. There must be one person here, at the very least, who can help you. Sacrificial! Sacrifice! That's what you're thinking as you resume your search. You flit from the cottage to cottage with precise litter to show your determination, until you make another discovery. This village, with its squat sketch cars bathed in the moon's glow, has a church. Well, of course it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not no godless heathens. Not that their faith did them all that good in the end. Oh, God, I was just joking about that. God damn it! Still, the sound of the search soothes your overtaxed heart. You were so focused on your fantasy of a kindly washerwoman taking you in, you do not pause to entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing much the same. Well, all hope is not lost. You approach the church. It seems to tower over you despite being so humble. The church is a small one, but it's stout and sturdy. It must be, but it has withstood centuries, forever standing, sentinel on this hill, like a relic from a bygone era. I don't like this! The church does not have any stained glass windows, but it's not to need them. Dude, this is not... Oh god, I feel... Even without more luxurious trapping, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop. Some of its sloping... Dude! I'll be honest, guys, I think we're gonna die. I think we're definitely gonna die. I chose the wrong path. The graves which have been planted by generations of wardens are hewn from a similar stone to which the church's walls are made of. Some of the gravestones are shaped like lozenges, while others are shaped like crosses. A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels. There's a few and far between. Are the angels, though? There's very few people in the village such as this one, who can afford such luxurious final resting places. Oh god, it's... Okay, yeah, no. Okay, it looks like a regular graveyard. Okay, good. Look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity. Forgetting in your examination of the visceral heart-wrenching fear which gripped as you ran through the forest. You are out of the woods now. You have some consciousness already began to relax. Dude, we're gonna die! Ah, god damn it, we're gonna die. You tried to read the names of the hogs of the mirrored tombstones, but this is dark and you're tired. And some of these gems are very, very old indeed. You strain your eyes, but you do not have much luck in this endeavor. Oh well. Dude, the music is changing. We're gonna fucking die. Such superfluous details are not important. Dude, oh god, the music is changing this much. We're gonna get stabbed. You eventually tire of examining the graves in turn. This graveyard is an expensive one. Unusually so. Given the village itself is so small, how could it boast so many corpses? There is so much to explore. Like I said, guys, I think we're gonna die. We're gonna die right now. Walk to the perimeter of the church. Cast your gaze first here, and there, then everywhere. Consumed as you are with your immense, all-encompassing curiosity. And as you say, you see her. She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny, just like yourself. That she's much, much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. We got a waifu already, cool! For some moments you observed her, hiding, all the while in the shadow cast by the church, like a furtive lizard, clinging against the rocky edifice to shroud itself from the sun. There's no sunlight here, though. Dude, she looks like a cute girl. Can I press X? Oh, she's not a cute girl at all. You see bones and everything. Oh no! And she's smiling at us. We're a new victim. Oh god, we're gonna be a new victim. Holy shit. That's not a good sign. There's only the night sky, and the stars, and the moon. But in the moon's light, the shivering implements the girl's clutching shimmers. It takes a few moments to see what that girl is clutching in her hands. Wait, it's a broken shovel! It's a broken shovel. I was gonna say, it's a broken spoon! Oh god, why did my head go to spoon instantly? Oh god. It's not until you see her manipulate it, its sharp edge biting onto the earth, that you understand. Yeah, it's a shovel! It is a shovel. Yeah, it's not a spoon! This girl is standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard, late at night, and she is digging a grave. Well, I suppose she could always be digging a hole for the sake of it, but her work seems to be much more precise to be the result of mere whimsy. It is hard for you to see her face. Dude, she has a cute face, I'm not gonna lie, she has a cute face, given the distance between the pair of you, but her posture is one that speaks of supreme concentration. She moves slowly, mechanically like a woman on a mission, driving the end of her shovel into the earth over and over. Her motions are regular enough to be repetitive. There is something hypnotic, almost in the manner in which she attends to this task. Did you risk interrupting her? Oh, she's falling asleep now. Do you dare? You get the feeling she would not appreciate it. The shovel in her hand, meanwhile, is rather hefty. If she wished it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. You do not know if she risks speaking to her when she in her dark clothes, but this shovel looks so very strange. Well, what do you have left to lose? You have come this far. It would be foolish to turn back now. It is within the thought of mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. I don't get to choose! Your footsteps are quiet. You have grown accustomed to slicking around like a cat, but they're not quiet enough. The girl's senses may be finely tuned, because she blinks. Then she turns. Your eyes meet. Once you do, you feel your breath catch in your throat. You do not have a clear beautiful girl, excelling as you were in the shadows. When she's looking at you, you acknowledge that she is pretty. That's what I said, she is very pretty. Her skin is very smooth and her hair, though obscured by a dark hood, is very fair. Her eyes, meanwhile, are clear, cool blue eyes like ice. Vanilla ice! Those eyes of hers! Ah, crap. Those eyes of hers, which are large with her knees, all fringed with very long, fair eyelashes. Dude, she's cute. I'm not gonna lie. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. Well, I mean, she has a broken-ass shovel. She's gonna kill us. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Now she is a kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. But no, she is none of those things. The shovel she is clutching in her hands looks like solid enough. It's one to tip glitter directly in the moonlight. Can you help me? I'm being chased by a yandere girlfriend. You steel yourself, exempting perhaps some sort of outburst. But the tension soon drains from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which once were gripping the handle of her shovel, start to relax. Her lips curled upwards at the edges. Oh, she's smiling! She is smiling. And what a smile it is. Yeah, oh, that's a very... Dude, that's a very good looking smile, I'm not gonna lie. It is transformative. When she smiles, she looks radiant. Angelic almost. Hers is a smile that is so suffocated with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. You are so relieved. You must feel as if you could cry. It would not be the first time you wept during this night, and neither would be too surprising if you did. You have been through a lot. You must be exhausted. Dude, I don't... Well, the only thing I know is being chased, and we went to the village. At least we chose the right voice. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this, but she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Then she says in her voice, which does not match her dainty appearance, "Well, she does live in a rural village. What would you expect? Oh! It's good to see another person here! I was afraid I was the only person left alive. The only one in this whole world." Oh, really? Now this is quite the effusive greeting. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. Oh god, I did choose correctly voice. It's rather more personal than her appearance would make one suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, cannot help but feel overwhelmed. It's your turn, now, to be on your guard. Anxiously, you observe the girl with the shovel, and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh, don't you not know? There's an awful lot that you do not know. So much, in fact, it will fill a whole encyclopedia. No, a whole library. You shake your head, ashamed at your ignorance, and this girl frowns. You mustn't be from around these parts. I guess you should have known. This village is a small one, and everyone knows everybody else. The girl's expression falls. Oh no. At least they used to, back when there was still people you to know. That ain't the case now, though. Not after the plague. Wait, what? Oh god, we are in a Spanish village. There was a plague? How would Zerxon explain why the village, when you walked through it, was so quiet? Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness? That's right. It's just me here now. I've not seen another human being for a long, long time. It's so lonely here. Oh, I feel bad for you. Now that's an interesting turn to phrase. It catches inside your head like a blur. Have you heard it before? You don't have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you. Oh, beware my manners. It's gone rusty after being on my own for so long. My apologies, miss. You look like you come from a long way. You said you were a traveler, yes? And your hands are very cold, just like ice. Would you like to come inside? Maybe have something warm to eat and to drink? My home's small, but I'm afraid that my food ain't nothing fancy. But I'll be more than willing to share. Please, let's do it. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially not one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. The girl laughs, a carefree, airy sort of laugh, which does not match your initial impression of her. Dude, I kind of feel sad for this girl now. Oh man, she's like my waifu now. You thought, when you saw her amongst the graves, that she would be more distant somehow, but more mysterious. Aww. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's a smile you have to protect. That's a smile you gotta protect, man. That's something. Aww. Perhaps you're mixing her up with someone else. You're still unsure if you can trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. It is much more appealing, certainly, than spending the night outdoors in the cold, camping of the graves. What do you do? What are you? A romantic poet? No, I'm just a dumbass. Please, make sure of pondering with the girl's invitation at the very least. You don't want to appear too eager, but your acquaintance is, alas, an inevitability. Why would you refuse her? She is the first friendly face you've seen all night. Without her, you'd be all alone. Oh, cool! So we accepted the invitation. Be like, yes, please, ma'am. Your host leads you to a small, humble home located by a stone thrown away from the church, built in the shadows of a twisted, towering sycamore. The girl's home is such a taste that it seems to a folly to even call it a home. How would, to you, be the more appropriate description? But when your host leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are! Home sweet home." You don't have to the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homely or very sweet. Dude, I'll take whatever I can get, I'll be honest. That would be incredibly rude. It would be incredibly rude. As a guest, you ought to be more appreciative. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. Dude, I feel like a watch of relaxing you could feel through it. The ceiling is supported by wooden joists, and it's pressureless alone. Not so much that you are in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. Aww. There's a fire in the corner, though. It is not considered too great. The fire, instead, is blazing in the open. A circle of logs is set alike as seen from a witch's kitchen. Above the fire hangs a very silvery pot, suspended from one of the wooden eaves. Other objects of interest are hung from there. The eaves, iron implements you'd take to be cooking utensils, various herbs, and the strips of meat left to cure. The smell of cooking fills the air, mainly with a sharp, sour sense of unwashed bodies. However, you wonder your hostess cleaned herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Perhaps she does not possess one. Probably. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is, you suppose, better than nothing. Well, dude, you're a noble lady, man. She's just a normal villager. That is the proof of your head, and food is put in your belly. The girl looks at the pot. Oh my god, that looks more. Oh god, damn, she looks more cute. But she gives a stir with a ladle. Then she brings the latter to her lips. It tastes whatever concoction she has brewing within it. You can only hope that she is not, like the weird sister from that famous play, brewing a broth with fanny snake fillets. Aww, I'm not gonna lie, she's cute. Yeah, I think it's just about done, the girl says, to nobody in particular. Oh, that is my. Oh, dude, she's blushing at you. God damn it, why is she blushing? Oh, she has an hourglass too. Oh gosh, she has an hourglass. I just noticed that. Oh, she settles that ladder down back into the pot. Oh no, I am falling asleep. Now looks at you and smiles. God, I'm still sleepy. God damn, I'm sorry guys. I got out of work late. Do you want some? Looks like you've been through quite the long way, and you must be hungry. These words are like music to your ears. You're more divine than the trumpet of God's most loyal angels. You're so hungry, you could eat a horse. Not that there is any horses in the immediate vicinity. You express your interest to your hostess, who smiles in response. I thought you'd like the sound of that. Just give me a few moments. Aww. Your hostess retrieves 2 earthenware bowls from the cupboard with rickety hinges, into which she pours 2 hefty helpings of whatever it is she is cooking. I like her. This, she says, is brewed, which is so hefty it could be used as a murder weapon. Oh no. It's not much, I'm afraid. It's only soup and bread. It should take the end of your appetite, though. Oh, I want a pat. No, let's pat. You thank your hostess for her hospitality. Your stomach rumblings all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, but the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. It is sure enough that people eat first with their eyes, and when one is hungry enough, one becomes obliging enough to eat almost anything. Why else do you think that people, when stranded upon desert islands, resort to cannibalism? I'd rather die and... Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to cannibalism. Humans are creatures of necessity. You like to wrap yourself up in pretensions, but in actuality, you're not much better than animals. Yeah, we're not much better than animals. She said, she hit the nail right in the coffin. You're so hungry, your stomach is achingly empty, that you certainly descend upon your food like an animal. Your teeth glint, your ancestors gleam, and soon you have consumed all of your hostess has to offer you. Your hostess watches while you eat, and she giggles once you have finished. Aww. Did you enjoy that? Aww. Dude, this is gonna be the thumbnail. This is gonna be the thumbnail right here. Aww. Oh. You catch your hostess' gaze, suddenly abashed. You were so hungry that you failed to account for her judgment. Now that you have some food in your belly, though, and you have been suitably warmed, your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool out of yourself? You demur shyly, looking at your lamp, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You do not want it to take against you. Yeah, we're not gonna fight her. Fortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your host is not the judgmental sort. She's not like the girls you grew up with. So she is a noble. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. I know I'm not the best, but I've been practicing for a long while. I used to cook with my father all the time, you see. This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess. Your abashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to your father? Seems a grim thing to compensate after having eaten, but... Did your hostess mention something about a plague? Yes, your hostess says, the voice soft and now serious. That's right. It was the plague. And what of the villagers? What of her father? They're all gone now. Gone? Yeah, you see. Your hostess rearranges herself up to a chair, one slender leg folded over the other. Then she begins to tell in earnest. My family has a history. We lived here for centuries, by the church, so we can tend to the graveyard. Ah, so this Abaddon centuries old then. It would certainly explain that. My father used to prepare barges for burial. Back when he was alive, he built the coffins, and he dug the graves, and we lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it might sound like an awful job, but someone's just gotta do it. There's no sense of averting your eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. Yeah, that is true. It's a noble profession, one that has been handed down in our family for generations. But you don't look like you're happy about it. My father's father was a gravedigger, so was my father's father's fathers, and my father's 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 fathers. Oh, I kind of feel bad for her now. Oh no. Digging graves is in our blood. It's a who we are. My. That was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside. A girl who is without much in the way of education. It is apparent, just to listen to her, in the way she slurs her syllables together. That's when she never had any elocution lessons. Not like you. There is a determination, however, to her and a pride in her genealogy, which gives her a respectable aura. You cannot help but be impressed. So you ask your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of gravediggers? Yes, your hostess, the gravedigger says. That's about right. Though I'm never supposed to be a gravedigger myself. What were you supposed to be? It's not a woman's profession. That's what everybody says. My father didn't mind that though. He taught me everything he knew, and then some. Really? I'll be a woman, but I've got plenty of upper body strength. I can dig a grave as well as my father could, without breaking a sweat. To the despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure. Oh, yay! I'm sure she was still alive. She'd rather I focus on more feminine pursuits, like basket weaving or sewing, to better attract a suitor. Not that I would do much good now. I want to be your suitor! There's nobody around who'd court me. Not for miles and miles. Dude, I'll do it! I'll go over there. I'll go to your timeline. I'll go to your timeline theory. Dude, she's a good lady. She's a good country girl. And what happened to her mother? She died when I was very young, during childbirth. I was only 5 years old. Oh well. You can relate to her, at least upon this point. Her parents are not dead. At least not as very far as you're aware. But you have not seen them in an awfully long time. They sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check up on you. God damn, nobility life sucks! For many years, there have not been no letters, nor any visitors. You offer the Gravedigger your condolences. You do not know if they will help, but feel like you cannot say nothing. That would seem heartless. The Gravedigger, however, does not seem too upset of this turn of events because she smiles, albeit somberly. It's alright, it was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask? That too. I was the oldest child, so it was my job after my mother died to manage the sweeping and the cooking. Oh, and looking after all my siblings too. But you got siblings? You blink, intrigued, then glance up at your host's humble lodging. You do not see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Where could they have been? Dude, they're dead! The Gravedigger must have noticed your rumbling eyes. You're not being exactly suitable, because she shakes her head. I had siblings. 2 younger brothers, but they're both gone now. Oh. You should have known. You apologize for the Gravedigger to your lack of tact, but you do not seem upset by this fox-pox. Don't apologize. Surely not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyway. The youngest, he died when he was still a babe, and the oldest, he died before he reached double digits. What? I was upset about that at the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it. It doesn't look like you came to terms with it. God damn it, I want to go talk to you now. Oh, you're such a nice little girl. That's a plain thing that this wicked old world. That's something you learn from this trade. Digging graves, I mean. I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but I also dug graves for the young babes still in their waddling clothes. That's the nature of death. It comes for all of us in the end. No matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. It's the great equalizer. Oh, so I've heard. A child creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess speech. Oh God, she's right though. She's not wrong. Well, the inherent morality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. Yeah, I can agree with her too, but we have to do it. It is too disturbing. For the longest time, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me, but that was fine. It was how I liked it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear, but we can dine on the finest of foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special, but I've always felt otherwise. You're gonna make me cry! Though I thought I was blessed. No, don't make me cry, man. I don't want to cry. We knew hardships, of course, and famine. But that was just the way life is around here. When food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I had my father, but I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always worked out at the end. Well, dude, at least you didn't get hit by a plaga. No, you did. Never mind, you did get hit by a plague. At least they did. The plague happened. Yes, she had mentioned the plague. I've been wondering when she was going to return to that topic. Suppose that this plague is the reason that the village, as you traversed it, was so very empty? You suppose right. The plague threw it to the village. I don't remember when. It was like a while ago. But maybe it wasn't all that long after all. It feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but... Your hostess' eyes begin to cloud over. No, don't make her cry! She looks like she is entranced within her own memories. No, we made her cry! What could she be remembering? You have never seen a play before, though you have heard of them in your history lessons. Your history professor was quite enthusiastic about the subject. She talked about pounds of dead bodies stacked up in the streets, and stacked up in the wooden carts to come to take them away, and no shortage of aplomb. She was a strange woman, your history professor. The plague came on very suddenly. There was no warning. One day, everyone was fine, and the next, they were all dead. It is with no small amount of anxiety that you eyed the Gravedigger. Do you think it was poison? Then you ask worryingly, surely they could not all have died. Is that not an exaggeration? Oh, if only. I wish I was exaggerating, but the truth is, honest to God, the people in the village died one after another. Just like that. I wonder what type of plague they got then. I saw that what the plague does to the people firsthand. My father was one of the first people caught it. I think one of the bodies which came through that we buried must have had it. No. Not that I know for certain. I'm just guessing. Still. My father didn't have an easy time of it. His skin turned all grey and clammy, and he complained about a horrible fever. There was night sweats and stomach. Oh God, he got the black plague, the black death. And then there were the boils. Oh God. The boils? Postulates. They were the size of eggs that were full of pus. When they burst, it stunk. The whole house was full of it. The stink of death. Wait, how are you alive then? The wise woman of the village came to see if she could find any use, but it was no good. My father was too far gone already. She took one look at him, lying on his deathbed, and she shook her head. She said that she didn't want to get any closer. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. I can't say I blame her. It was a ghastly sight. I didn't appreciate it at the time, though. I felt like she was turning her back on us. I wish her ill, I remember that, after she left. A few days passed, and she feels sick too. And I felt bad for cursing her. Couldn't help but worry if it was all my fault. It's silly, I know, but... The Gravedigger closed her eyes. Seemed like she seems to squeeze her lids together until her lashes melt like flickers of falling snow. No, her shoulders, which were very slender, are shaking. She looks at the thought she might at any moment fall apart. It wasn't long after that rest of the village fell ill. They all had the same symptoms as my father. The clammy skin, the fever, and the boils. The boils grew, then they burst, and they died in screaming, stinking agony. Dude, God, I want to take her now. I want to go to here and just take her. My father died too, only 3 days after he fell ill. But I think even that 3 days were too many. I didn't want my father to die, of course. I did everything I could to help him, but it was all pointless. None of my other cells had any impact. I couldn't make a blind bit of difference. While the devil stands about his bedside, tell him it'll be alright until his eyes sank into his skull with 2 black stones and his mouth dried out. Oh man. During the last day before he died, he might have been a corpse already. He didn't look at me. He didn't speak to me. He just laid in bed with his eyes closed, groaning. I never wished any ill of my father before, but during those moments The Gravedigger squeezed her hands, which rested upon her black-clad lamps, into fists. She trembled. Then a voice striving from an awful emotion says, I wish he just died. Oh dude, imagine all the suffering you've seen someone you love so... Oh god. While the base of her ankle coat, it does sound like she had overwhelmingly long to wait. I wonder if she would have considered that a silver lining? No. Perhaps not. The Gravedigger's still shaking. She will not cry, will she? No, if she cries, no! Give her a hug! You hope not. Awkwardly, you look at the Gravedigger. You're not sure how to soothe her, but you know you must make some sort of effort, even if it's a token one. You shift upon your chair, which feels very cold and hard beneath your thighs. And you say very softly that you're sorry. It's not much. Well, it's all the thing you think you can say of sane. I just feel like, look, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'll help you out of whatever I can. But don't think that way, okay? Remember those precious memories instead of these darker ones. These darker ones will always pass. But the positive ones that you have with your family, they'll always stay in your heart, no matter what. Probably say something like that. Probably. You had, though, initially, that your situation was comparable to that of a Gravedigger, but now you can see that it's not the case. The suffering is far outstripped of your own. Now, that suffering is a competition, of course. Your knowledge feels inadequate to your ears, largely because it is, but the Gravedigger seems not to mind it. She's very big-hearted, that girl. Smile at you, so no matter how foolish you might be, you really deserve such kindness. No! Oh, again with the apologies. It's all right, like I said. You didn't cause any of this. I'm not upset at you. I'm just recounting what happened is all. I do wonder, though, why I never fell sick myself. I thought I was going to die, so I already prepared for the Reaper to come and take me away. But maybe he wasn't interested. Maybe he already satisfied his appetite in all the others. That, or maybe he thought I'd leave me alive for practicality's sake. I'd be like, don't worry, you'll be alright. My father gone, who else who attended to the dead? I'm the only person left by the end of it all. So I had to bury the people in the village. They're all resting peacefully now under the earth, but the plague can't reach them. On one hand, I'm happy for them. They were able to escape from all their suffering. But I'm thinking about all the people I've lost, though. The Gravedigger tenses. Then she sniffs. When I think about the kindly washerwoman who helped me scrub the mud of the dirt of my clothes. So this village did have a fair share of washerwomen after all. It seemed your early insistence upon this particular point was not without merit. Oh, the worst thing to think of! The handsome young farmhands who used to flirt with me. No, I will flirt with you! No! I am your husbando now! I will kill myself. The priest who preached at the church, who told us wonderful tales of paradise, and the children who would skip stones in the lake, play hopscotch on the streets. I can't help but feel so lonely. The Gravedigger's eyes begin to shine. Once she has finished her address with tears, but she does not let them fall. She's being very brave, much more than you are. Anxiously, you extend a hand towards her, meaning to. What? Give her a hug? You don't know her well enough. Pat her head? That would be infacile. Yeah, no. Squeeze her hand? Perhaps that could be misconstrued as a romantic overture, and that's the last thing you want. You endure more than your fair share of teasing over that. You sit there for a few moments, paralyzed and indecisive, as the Gravedigger reportedly suppresses her sniffles. In the end, you let your arms drop on your side, your hands rest upon your lap, as useful as a damp kindling. You do not know what to do with it. You do not know that you ought to say something, that you show that your heart her plaint, and that you care. You do not know what this is something you should be, however. No words could ever console the Gravedigger. They would never be enough. Yeah, no, you'll never be... Yeah, no. They can offer some balm, however, to the bereaved, and so after pausing just long enough to be awkward, you offer your condolences. What else can you say? Oh no, the Gravedigger replies with the straight tears away from her on the back of her arm. It's... alright. No! You should have... God damn it. Oh, you should give me more choices. I've grown used to it, really. Being on my own, I mean. It ain't so bad, really. I'm not alone now, at least. I've met you. You'll keep me company, won't you? Yes! Oh, well, what can you say to that? You aren't callous enough to trample this poor girl's hopes, are you? You know full well yourself how awful that feels. You can do nothing but nod. There's one just makes the girl smile more widely still. Like, don't worry, I'll be here with you no matter what. That's wonderful. You're just a traveler who's passing through, but I can offer you bread and butter till you leave. I have food enough and I have spare bedroom. I'll make it up for you right now. You must be tired after your long journey. Just give me a moment. The Gravedigger rises from her feet in a flurry of excitement, then retreats. Watches you Jesus Christ! She watches you depart, a little too eager to pleasant, and frown. The girl's home is small. Jesus, that scared the shit. Screw you, Best Buy! Oh god, I thought I got a message. Fucking Best Buy got the shit out of me. I got into it. The girl's home is small, humble, with one low ceiling and slanted walls. You can imagine such a small dwelling possesses a spare bedroom. This so-called spare bedroom is an unlikelihood. The room her father slept in before the plague carried him off. You do not think that you should do much spend the night in the room of a dead man. But what choice do you have? I'll be honest, guys and gals. We live in dead people's houses. As simple as that. Like like a lot of people died in a lot of houses. We're sleeping in them already. Some of them might be haunted, some of them may not be, but it's the way of life sometimes, which is sad. You're tired. Wretchedly so. Why? Is it all you can do is keep your eyes open? While you were running through the forest, desperate to escape your pursuer, you had not thought your mind before finding some safe sanctuary in which you could recuperate. Now that you have found shade and sanctuary, it would be unreasonable to find faults with it. You ought to learn to be more thankful for what you have. Exactly! There are many, many people in this world with less. That is very true. You rise and follow the Gravedigger when she finishes her preparations to her so-called spare bedroom, which is as very bit as cramped as you fear to put it. At least there is a bed, which counts on something as a relief. There is at least lodging is so humble that you were half expecting a straw pallet. As tired as you might be, you cannot lie to yourself. You have no desire to sleep among the hay like an animal. God damn noble bastard. The sheets of the beds are clean too. Flattered to you sincere with a cursory glance. So you will not be expected to sleep upon the sweat-soaked liner of a plague-ridden man after all. It really is your lucky day. And got you this too, Gravedigger says, somewhat shyly, as she hands you a folded gown to sleep in. I thought you might come in handy. Your own clothes are, a bit shabby. You can say that again. Your skirt is covered in mud, and the helmet's towards you and ragged. This nightgown is one of my old ones, so it's suffered a bit of wear and tear. But I hope you'll fit fine. It's clean if nothing else. Oh, she's... Why you gotta be so nice to us? God damn it, she's... Oh, my heart is melting. You accept the nightgown from your benefactress with words of thanks. You want to sound appropriately appreciative, but you cannot mask your fatigue. Awareness overcomes you, and you yawn. The fact the creative does not fail to notice. Oh! Begging your pardon. I do not wish to keep you. I'll be making myself scarce. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to help. Oh, thank you. The Gravedigger bows his head and to you like a drudge, then hurries off, closing the door behind you with a thud. Tired through you all, you soon find that you'll rather miss your hostess' company. In the face of her good-natured smiles, you can almost forget all the hardships you have hitherto endured. In her absence, however, your lodging feels almost unbearably cold and inhospitable. You press a shutter, then unclothe yourself. You work as quickly as you're able, but your fingers are cold and they fumble with the button on your blouse. Oh, thank God I don't have to censor shit. Good. There's more time than you would like to complete this endeavor, but you soon have your shirt and your skirt to dispense with. You are too tired to fold them neatly, so you cannot bother to fold them at all. Instead, you cast them carelessly upon the floor, as defiant as a sulky child, then put on your new nightgown. Your hostess' eerily warning were apt enough. It's quite worn, but it fits well enough. I want to see! It is more comfortable, at least, than your old uniform. Can I see? You have endured worse. Nearly dressed and ready for bed. You lose your hair from your braids and settle down amongst the sheets. No, shall we... Oh, God, I want to see the protagonist now. It is with your scientific extinguisher that weekly fickle candlelight which burns on your bedside. With another side, you lay your head down upon your pillow. Though physically exhausted, you have to wonder where you will be able to sleep at all. You can recall your previous dash of the forest with such vivid details, your heart is still pounding. That fear has yet to leave you, but it will never leave you. Your terror of such, it almost feels as though it suffered itself into your bones, into your very being. Oh, of course, you got PTSD. But your exhaustion is greater than your worldly anxieties, and soon it claims you. Your eyelids fall shut and your breathing inevitably begins to even out. It's not long enough and you are spiraling through a dark, deep abyss, lost in Morpheus' kingdom. Oh God, it's morbing time! Hell yeah! But your sleep, despite your weird state, it is not as restorative as you had hoped. Your imagination has been overactive. Even at the conservatoire, you were frequently bested by dreams of the most vivid nature. The dreams that you have this night, lying beneath an unfamiliar sheet upon an unfamiliar bed, are no less intense than usual. In your dreams, you are back to the conservatoire, the place where this adventure of yours began. You are wearing the crisp white blouse you once discarded, and grey, unremarkable skirt. Your hair is tied into braids, and your eyes are downturned, forever focused upon your fate. You try not to look at your classmates, and you thought to yourself, fortunately, if they did not look at you in return. You did not want anybody to notice you. Until that awful winter, that is, where everybody stops paying attention to you for good. Nobody tried to trip you when you walked past them in the hallway. Nobody, in fact, so much as glanced at you. Oh God, so we were a bullied kid. We were a bullied girl too. Damn it. All of a sudden, there was no malicious whispers, no wicked laughter, no pulled hair, no thrown objects. You were giddy with relief at first, with this newfound mental torment your classmates have devised. But this little game, it's a complete and utter disregard, continued you on and on and on, as the day grew shorter and the nights grew longer. As the time passed, you began to fret at the state of your own corporeality. Could anybody still see you? Did you even exist at all? Oh God, bullying at its finest, Jesus Christ! And at long last you found it, quite by accident, the source of all your woes. One of the girls had erected in the forest through which you were sometimes bidden to jog for PE class, beneath the shade cast by an old oak tree. It was a makeshift tombstone, a small meager memento made of stone upon which one of your classmates had hewed a name. Your name. You knew at once, you stood there, standing beneath the shade of that ancient tree, that this was the reason behind your classmates' silence. This is why they had for many months been ignoring you so audaciously. They had buried you. Whoa! Ho, ho, ho! We got buried alive? In their hearts, you had already died. Wait, so we're dead? Your early dreams notwithstanding, you slept more comfortably than you have anticipated. Wait, so we're a ghost? When you awake the following morning to the sweet chirps of bird songs, you feel well rested, albeit woozy. Your head is aching. There's nothing, however, that a cup of hot tea cannot fix. You stumble into the kitchen and to your nightgowns, your hair loose and your feet bare, and the gravedigger returns to you. She looks at your face, which is pasty, and under your eyes, which are dark and exclaimed in the matter of once accustomed to solving problems, not complaining about them. Oh, you look awful. I think you need something to drink. Maybe warmth. You need something to eat too? Look at that started on to breakfast. Oh, she's so nice for us. That's exactly what she does. She gets started on breakfast, which provides to be quite a simple affair. Not like the luxurious food you were accustomed to in your past life. So we are dead. What the hell? The bread is hard enough to break your teeth on, and the cheese is a bit too strong. Aww. It is a food all the same, though, and you do not complain. Oh, your stomach was beginning to grumble. I don't want to grumble. Tea is inoffensive, at least, and you drink it gracefully. You thank the gravedigger girl for his hospitality, and she smiles at you in return, a sunny smile, like a field of blooming bellflowers. There's no problem, she hesitates, if you need anything else, she says, with words come to the symbolize your relationship. Oh! So nice! You stay with the gravedigger for many, many more days, and limited though you mean her might, she will try to help you. The gravedigger says she chose about the house to keep you occupied, in fact, which you are grateful. You need to do something about your mind off your frantic flight throughout the forest. You can almost forget about it now, during the day. During the night, however, it returns to you, as on your feet against the full ground in the swirling fog. When you sleep, you are assailed by nightmares. Sometimes you wake after midnight, the shit switches around and your body and your mouth go open in a paroxysm of terror. You try to tell yourself otherwise, you're still afraid. Being with a gravedigger makes you feel so less, though, particularly when you're sweeping the floor or keeping an eye on the bread loaves so they do not burn. You attend to the most of the domestic chores, while the gravedigger concerns herself with the work she knows best, that is, digging graves. Her dark persistence is when it comes to the procedure intrigues you, something that you cannot help but posing the question on one her particular morning, when the sky is festooned with clouds. Why you ask her, perhaps a touch instead of it, you continue to get to graves. There's nobody left after all to dig them for. You've always been practical, and you cannot see the point in it. What's the point in it? The gravedigger ponders while holding her precious shovel to her chest. Fortunately, she does not seem upset by your question, despite its bluntness. You should count yourself lucky her temper is very placid. I don't suppose there's any point in it, really. The gravedigger eventually says with a small smile, doesn't have any particular purpose, but... well... digging graves is what my father did. He showed me how to do it so I couldn't continue his legacy. My father wants to keep our family tradition going. And I suppose I want to do the same. That's all there is to it, really. That's all that is? Huh. You think you can understand that? Then your companion action might appear to be logical. There is a kernel of reasoning nested amongst them. She does not dig graves out of any sense of pursuit. She does it instead of out of sentiment. Besides, I have to do something to keep myself buried, don't I? Busy, don't I? I spend my days illing all on my own. I think I'd go mad. The gravedigger laughs at this, as though the perspective of her own madness is amusing. Aww, her laugh despite her slender stature. It's not particularly delicate. It reminds you, perhaps, unkindly, of the braying of a horse. You're ashamed to think of such a thing, though, and your face flushes with the guilt of it. We cannot all be well-bred young ladies, you know. Exactly! Still, the laugh of the gravedigger as it echoes through the gray, gloomy sky is strangely desperate. It sounds forced. Your smile, too, is a touch unnatural. the Rex's grin of a corpse. You find, despite your attempts to return her laughter with a polite giggle, that you cannot. You cannot help but pity her. Don't pity her. You retreated indoors swiftly after you talked with the Gravedigger, then set about some simple chores. The Gravedigger trusts you well enough to manage sweeping the floor, a task which does not take particularly long. The preparation of meals which takes slightly longer. It's not until much later, however, once the sun has already sunk beneath the horizon of the moon and high in the sky, that the Gravedigger returns from the outdoors. She is one stepped after many hours swept exposed to the elements, and there is a dirt cake beneath her fingernails. Ooh! The Gravedigger removed her cloak, when she hangs by the door, then looks at the pot suspended over the fire, which you stoked with your own fair hands. The scent of cooking food, and that of garlic and onions, fills the air, sufficing the interior of the kitchen, in a homey aroma which makes your stomach rumble. Taking stock at this, the Gravedigger smiles at you, a toothy smile which, despite her status as a lowly peasant, is surprisingly clear and bright, brim and white. Aww, thank you so much, dear one. There's nothing like returning home after a hard day of work to find dinner already prepared. Now, let me give it a test. Alright. Gravedigger sips a spoon of the soup, then brings it to her lips. She blows upon it. And then she places the spoon into her mouth, the wooden utensil clanking against her teeth. You observe this with a touch of anxiety. Would she like the food we have prepared for her? You have cooked for her before in the past. She was always very complimentary to your efforts. It is not your forte, however. You nevertheless have to concern yourself with it. Really, growing up in a relatively comfort as you did, you think that you enjoyed this rustic mode of existence more than you did any of the privileges of your past life. Okay, so yeah. At least now, with the Gravedigger, you have a steadfast friend, a staunch ally. When you're with her, you're not alone. That is worth weight of gold. That's it's more than diamonds. The Gravedigger explains after drawing a spoonful from her lips. It smiles a bright, gruesome one. It's delicious. Your face flushes with the compliment. You are unaccustomed to receiving them, and it makes you feel good. Yeah, it makes me feel happy now. Shyly, you ask the Gravedigger if she truly means that a quote which makes a Gravedigger smile. Of course I mean it. You become quite good at cooking. Really? That's a relief. You were not very good at all this cooking malarkey in the beginning. You did not know how to handle a knife, you did not know how to peel a vegetable, and you cut yourself more than once. You bled into the soup several occasions, but never once did you throw this solid soup out. Well, yeah, that's wastefulness. The Gravedigger lives a humble existence as she cannot afford to waste her precious ingredients. Yeah! Your soups earned your stay have all been seasoned with the slightest hint of iron. Ooh! Today's soup, however, is a marked step above the rest. You did not cut yourself with a knife even once. Yay! Maybe your companionship compliments are not empty, fluff? Maybe you really are improving. I am improving. This soup should be ready to serve. I have some bread too. Now we can heat it with. But oh, I should brew some tea too. Let me. Ah, yes. The tea. You know that you were forgetting something. You were so focused on the soup, it must have slipped your mind. Your face flushes yet again, at this oversight, and shyly you offer to correct it. The Gravedigger, however, waves your request aside. No, it's alright. You made dinner, so I'll brew the tea. It's only fair. I don't want to take that long. Would you mind serving up a soup while I'm busy? Of course you will not mind. You do enjoy making yourself useful. As for a lady, you are awfully domestic. God damn it, she's a good girl. God damn it. She's a good girl. You work alongside the Gravedigger to finish your nightly meal, and together you serve it. Soup and bread alongside 2 cups of piping hot tea. Prepared for the hostess only 2 hands. Wait, what's a Gravedigger's name? She never said her name, huh? You sit together at the table, then partake of the simple fare after saying grace. The soup was really quite good. It's made for the only most commonplace of ingredients. There's a bit of a kick to it, and it warms you from the inside out. The tea, meanwhile, is very soothing, so much so, it makes you feel rather sleepy. Would you like to sit with a Gravedigger for a little while longer and tell stories that you have sometimes in the past? That, or play cards. The night's long, and there's no better way to pass than spending time with her. The games of old maids, alas, will have to wait. You're too tired for it. You don't know what has happened, but after consuming your victuals, you feel utterly fatigued. You explained your predicament to the Gravedigger. Between your yarns, and she nods in response. That's alright. You don't stay up with me. Not if you ain't up to do it. You should head off to bed and rest that pretty head of yours. I will. You do not think you are particularly pretty, but you presume that the Gravedigger is just regurgitating your face to you. No, I am pretty. I'm a pretty girl in a pretty world. She does not truly mean it. How could she? She's far prettier than you are. Dude, she is very pretty indeed. You thank the Gravedigger for her understanding, then rise from the table. You retreat to the spare bedroom on trembling legs, then change out of your clothes. You have only just slid into your nightgown when you hear the rapping of knuckles upon your door, light and obtrusive. This rapping could, of course, belong to but one person. It's a Gravedigger, come to check up on you. I'm sorry, the Gravedigger says in a soft voice, but you rushed to your room as soon after eating. I couldn't help but worry about you. Would you mind if I take a look at you? I just want to see if you're alright. The Gravedigger is trying to keep her voice steady, but you can hear it wavering regardless. She really does sound concerned, so much as you could very well be on the brink of tears. You do not want her to cry for you. You would feel horribly guilty if you upset her, even inadvertently, given all that she has done for you. You know, she's done a lot of stuff for us, and we're going to be doing this. Please don't. You bid the Gravedigger enter into your room, therefore, without further delay, an invitation she hastens to take. The door swings inwards with a creak, and there your hostess stands, still attired in black, her clothes a stark contrast of your pure white, well off-white nightgown. The Gravedigger looks at you, and seated in the bed with your hair freed from your usual braids and exhales. Is that relief, you wonder, playing about her face? But why? What would you expect him to see exactly before entering your bedchamber? Thank you for letting me in, the Gravedigger says, toying with her fingers. How do you feel? Not too terribly, you reassure her. There's no particular problems with your health. You just feel tired. Are you sure you're not sick? Your face does look like a bit pale. That would be nothing out of the norm. You are always pale. True. Now, is there anything I could do for you? Would you like something to warm to drink? Maybe a hot brick to place under your bed. It should keep you warm. You appreciate your hostess' thoughtfulness, but you reassure her that it won't be necessary. Yeah, don't worry, I'll be fine. I hope so. I thought about my father too before he... The Gravedigger begins, but her voice soon trails off. She did not finish her thought. She doesn't need to. You know what she was thinking of before she entered your bedroom. Cold, clammy skin, a sweating brow, rank, oozing pustules. Think about these symptoms, which are eerily similar to those recounted during the Great Plague which once bestowed our country, and you shudder. If you don't want anything, I'll be on my way, the Gravedigger says, but before that, it was just a fancy on my part, but I was wondering, would you mind if I brushed your hair for a little while? My hair? Oh, that's right. Such a pretty shade of red. It's all I just thought. Oh, we're redhead. Well, if it's just fancy, really. You don't have to let me if you don't want to, but I thought it might help you relax if you're feeling under the weather, and it's supposed to be soothing. Is that what the Gravedigger says? But you have the distinct feeling that she's the one looking for solace here. She's not quite so selfless, perhaps, as she would like you to think. Oh, so cute! But she has to be very good at you, and you have done very so much for you, that you don't want to begrudge her this small self-indulgence. The other thing, she deserves it. You agree therefore to her request, and upon doing so, you have made the right choice. Your host's face lights up immediately, in a manner which makes you blush. Oh, thank you, it'd be my honor. Now let me fetch my brush. The Gravedigger retreats from your room in a hurry, but returns soon thereafter, holding in the right hand the promised brush. This artifact, while quiet, the Gravedigger sends upon itself your bed by your side. She looks at your hair for a few moments, her expression pensive. Then she announces she will begin shortly. The Gravedigger leans in. The wooden frame from the bed creaks under her weight, a creak which melts into the side of the breeze outdoors. You can feel the brimstone of the brush running through your hair. It is soothing enough, so much so, it makes you shiver. The sensation is a pleasant one, and somewhat nostalgic. Did your mother do this for you, you wonder, when you were a little girl? If she did, she must have been when you were a very little girl. You have not seen your mother in quite some time, and after you're enrolled at the conservatoire. How you have such lovely hair, dear one. It's soft, just like silk. Not at all like mine. Mine is so coarse. Oh my god! No, she is so nice. Oh my god. It sounds as though the Gravedigger is lost in nostalgia of her own because her voice, when she speaks next, is dreamy. I think my mother used to brush my hair with me this back when we were still alive. She must have been a long time ago, though. It is funny, you think the bristles on your brush continue to slant through your tresses. That you and the Gravedigger should both be reminiscing intent about your representative matters. Perhaps there's some maternal in the fact of brushing one's hair with one summoning forth such images? I would not know personally. How can I remember my own mother at all? I don't think I'd like having my hair brushed very much. The Gravedigger continued, her breath warmed against the exposed nape of your neck. My mother used to complain that I squirmed too much. I can remember that. She always told me to sit still, though. It wasn't my fault I squirmed. She used too much force. Now this is curious. Sounds like those reminiscent of the Gravediggers are not particularly fond after all. Did she not get along with her mother? I can't rightly say. The Gravedigger fights in some sort of voice. I was young, like I said. When she died, I don't remember her too well. But I don't think she ever had that much time for me. She was too busy with all the cooking and the cleaning. Oh, looking after my baby brothers. But she had time enough, despite that, to brush your hair. She said that is what felt she had to make me look presentable. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not really that it really worked. I wasn't like the other girls in my village, you see, who liked to sit indoors with their mothers and sew. I always loved the outdoors. God damn, she's a tomboy too. Oh man, she's the best. My father said I inherited that from him. Oh, she's a good tomboy. Roughly, the Gravedigger smiled. Not that you can see it with your back facing her. My mother said I wasn't very, well, matronly. She didn't like that. I was draped around outside after my father, watching as he dug graves. Oh, she said I was inappropriate. I was like some sort of princess wearing a fine dress. The Gravedigger snorts. I used to think of it much, yes. And hence maybe I did get burnt in my clothes and not my hair. But it shouldn't have mattered. It's not like I had any hopes of marrying a prince. No matter what my mother said. I will be the Prince Charming in this story now. Let me go in, let me go in, let me Mario 64 in here. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. But still she hoped. She had a lot of hopes. My mother. High hopes. I think she might have resented my father. Maybe for working such a menial job. A profession is an honest one, but never made much money. I think my mother was hoping for fine jewels and dresses and... I don't know. She just had the ideas. Her head was full of fairy tales. It was a shame, I suppose, that her reality didn't match up to what she wanted. Oh, I didn't match up with what she wanted. The bitterness of your friend's voice is unmistakable, so much that you want to console her. What would you say to her, though? You never met your companion's mother. You never will, either. Their cold, inherent bodies have been lying in the grave, beneath buried a tombstone for over a decade. You have no way of judging whether your companion's mother truly cared for her. You do not have intelligence enough, however, to understand that poorly though our condolences can cause more harm than good. You would not like it if people tried to reassure you that, of course, your father would love you really. If he really loves you, then why did he send you away from home? Why did he never send you any letters? You know he wondered about his finances, but it seemed a poor excuse to pretend that only his daughter did not exist. Ooh, I know that feeling. I know that feeling too well. As for your own mother, meanwhile, she was nice at least. You'd think she was, but she was woefully ineffectual. No, she was normally an adult. She always cleaved before your father's judgment. You'd think that she was afraid of him. You did not try to tell the Gravedigger, therefore, that her mother loved her, that she must have done, else someone else would have given a birth to her. Instead, you sit there, letting the brush run through your hair, and you say quietly that you understand. Sometimes you feel disappointment in yourself. Well, the Gravedigger says after a pause, I'm not the only one. I guess that happens to all of us. Yes, it does. I guess so. You guess so. Parents are only people, after all. While only one would hope parents would be kind and attentive, they too can fall victim to caprices of their own. Just because one has brought a child into this world does not mean one will take care of it properly. Oh God, we're going to parenthood instantly, Jesus. Not all parents are responsible, just like not all people are responsible. Exactly! It is a painful subject. Oh well, it's alright if my mother never liked me, or if she never loved me. I know my father did, and that's all that matters. He was always there for me, no matter what. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. She winces. At least, until he wasn't. No, hug her! Tell her we'll be there for her for the rest of our days. He died. I didn't do a thing to help him. Your companion's shoulders are beginning to shake. You still cannot see her, but you hear her body convulsing. You can sense her loneliness rolling off in waves. It's all consuming like the waters of a deep, dark forest. Grieve a new piece of your heart. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. Oh gosh. Oh God, that scared the shit out of me. Oh God, getting into this. She does not deserve to suffer so much more. That does not make her suffer. Let's hug her. This you have no qualms with telling her. You turn to face her, pluck the brush which has been hovering in the air, inert from her fingers. Then you let her know that her father's death was not her fault. What could she have done? She could not have cured his illness. I know, but I can't help but think, what if? I kept racking my head over and over trying to come up with something. But I can't think of anything. And if I could, it's too late. He's already dead. He's dead and buried. I buried him. And now I'm all alone. She might have been alone, you tell the Gravedigger, but she isn't now. Not anymore. How can she be when you're there? Yeah, exactly. I know that, I know, but I'm grateful, but I don't know if I deserve it. Oh, why would she not deserve your company? Yeah, why would she? You did not understand. Because I could not do nothing for nobody. My father always looked out for me when I was a little girl, when he needed me the most. I failed him. I failed everyone. All of the villagers, all of my friends, all died. What if something happened to you? I don't think I could bear it. I don't want you to get sick too, not when I care about you so much. Oh, I thought I got used to being on my own, but now that you're here, it's making me worry all over again. I've been worried so much I can't sleep from it. I'm scared. Your companion's voice catches you in her throat. Then she collapses in on herself. She leans forward, her arms wound around by her middle, as if settling herself, and she cries. She cries and she cries and she cries. Her a few moments, you look at the Gravedigger, unsure of what to do. Her pale face, streaked with silvery tears, seemed to flicker in the candlelight. Her shoulders seemed too slender to bear a cumulative weight of all the sorrows she had endured are shaking. Your fatigue continues to cling on to you, as you insist that the fog which rolls amongst the tombstones in the graveyard at night. You're not so very tired, however. You can not feel your hostess some comfort. You do not know what you could say to console her. You feel too weird to think of pretty sophism. There is something you can't think of. You would not typically be so bold, of course, but you are tired enough for once to throw caution to the wind. That and the tales of the Gravediggers are awfully interesting. Yay! You open your arms, and before the Gravediggers can pass the comment, you pull her to your chest. Oh, yay! Oh, that's so adorable. Oh. A soft exclamation escapes the lips of the Gravedigger, quieter than the soft air of the wind's notes as it brushes to the ground. And then there's nothing. The Gravedigger stiffened in your arms for a few moments, like the corpse that she and her father used to seal away inside the wooden coffin. Dude, that's so adorable. Oh God, let her cry all the way. Let her. Oh man. She is all white eyes and awkward, pointed elbows, tears still coursing down her pale cheeks. You worry, briefly as you hold her, that you have perhaps made a mistake? Were you attempting to console her too clumsy? You would not know. You've never been in a situation like this before. You have never consulted any friends before, because you have never had any friends to console. It is now so, however. You are as far away from your old lad as possible could be, and the Gravedigger does not curse you for your impudence. Neither does she try to squirm away from you. Instead, she sits there, still as attached to you, cradled in your arms. Oh, I'm very sorry for something so embarrassing. I just get so lonely sometimes. No! Until, at last, long last, with a breathy sob, she lets the full weight of her body fall against yours. You run your hands against your sobbing companion's shoulders, blades on her back, and gently soothe her. You tell her that she does not need to apologize. There's no shame in crying. You hug her for many, many minutes, while she sobs against your chest, wetting the front of your nightgown. No, let her go all out. No further words pass between you that night, but they do not need to. Words are irrelevant at the moment as tense as this, shared between two souls who have come to understand one another through mutual loneliness. He is lying beneath your sheets. You still feel exhausted, and the Gravedigger joins you without asking for permission. It would be an unnecessary piece of politeness, really, given your acceptance is all but assured. You have already accepted the Gravedigger, after all, every single inch of her. You have accepted her hospitality. You have accepted her food. Now you're accepting her company. You arrange yourself beneath the sheets, then draw her body to yours. The Gravedigger has not changed in her nightgown. Her clothes will be horribly rumpled when she awakes come the following morning, her head resting against your chest. But tomorrow has ceased to matter. It no longer exists. There is no concept of time between the two of you, no the thought of day which will dawn on your night inevitably ends. Instead, there's only the warm share between you, and the wetness of the cheeks of the Gravedigger. There's a sound, irregular now, less intense than before, of your companion's muted, muffled sobs. There's this gentle, tender moment that's snatched in the midst of the deep, dark night, which can never be replaced. Your attitudes feel heavy as though you weighed down with stone. They droop inexorably downwards, pulling you like a drowning maiden into the dark, impenetrable abyss of slumber. You yawn. Then you fall asleep, go side up inside the Gravedigger like two cats in a basket. You slept and you slept and you slept more deeply than you have allowed yourself in quite some time. So in other words, like she fell for peace. What? But when you wake up, you find that you're no longer in bed, but in which you slept in, shouldered by sheets. What? The Gravedigger, too, is nowhere to be seen. Instead, you are quite alone, lying by yourself in the dark. You blink, but your surroundings does not become any clearer. What? What happened? Is this the middle of the night? Have you ever roused by your slumber by the desire to relieve yourself, or else slake your thirst? Your sleep has been awfully disordered as of late, and the smallest amount of noise has been enough to disturb you. That does not sound quite right. You slept well, for that, you are certain. Your body feels inferior, as though it has slumbered for hours and hours. How many hours? You don't know. Oh God! Did we get betrayed? You don't know much of anything. Did we get betrayed by the Gravedigger? You can feel a strange pinching of sensation around your chest, however, and around your arms. It would appear as though somebody, but who else could have been saved the Gravedigger, changed your attire while you were sleeping? That is a startling thought. The darkness imposed you is even more so. The darkness which surrounds you is utterly, completely. It is so thick that you cannot penetrate. Your newfound wounds does not stop, however, and this deep, unnatural darkness. It is too cold, and you're lying upon something hard. Some sort of stone slab? What's going on? You reach out, but your movements are soon stemmed. There's something heavy lying on top of you. Something that is limiting your movements. You were anxious before, upon waking up, but at this very discovery, you felt downright aggrieved. A sharp prong of panic pierces you, but you try to suppress it. Hysterics will get you nowhere. In most cases, they only tend to make bad decisions even worse. You ought to know that already. You swallow your mouth in dread as best you can, though it is coming to you thick and fast, trying to squirm. Dude, whoever's mean to this girl, she doesn't deserve to be mean either. You move your arms outwards, but they do not get very far. There's a wall above you, and a wall on either side of you. Walls will not budge no matter how hard you push. Not, I must add, that you can push partially hard. Your anxious state notwithstanding. You have never had so much weight to the upper body strength, nor lower body strength. You do not have much weight of strength at all. You feel quite helpless as you lie there, out of breath from your meager execution, unable to do what you should do. You can hardly set a foot in front of your face. You do not know where you are, nor why your terrible premonition is beginning to bear upon you, one which, initially, you tried to discard. You do not want to accept the possibility, but where else could the truth lie? You're lying in a box, hemmed in by the walls which offer you a scant few inches from your stretch in 8 directions. Where else could you be but a coffin? The moment you allow yourself to ponder on this awful reality is the moment you hear it, the irregular source of drumming. It is as though somebody, that must be very large somebody, is tapping their fingers upon the lid of your coffin. That, or it is raining. It is not the fingers of a giantess, though, which is disturbing you, nor is it falling rain. It is dirt. The dirt continues on and on as drilling away inside of your skull. No! She was. Oh, why? It is relentless. It is merciless. Like the ticking of a great celestial clock, you cannot be stopped. Your time is almost running out. But you knew that already, didn't you? When you were running through the forest? You ought to have known, silly thing, that you could not have paced your destiny forever. Sooner or later it will catch up with you. You are stubborn, though, and you do not want to accept this. Not content to simply lie there, you cry out. You cry not for your parents, for whom you hardly knew, not for your school friends, for you never had any. Instead you cry for your companion, the girl whom you have been living, and with whom you shared one precious cherished moment. You cry for the Gravedigger. Sure, this has some manners of mistake. Once she realizes you are in fact entombed in one of the coffins she is currently filling, for who else would be moving the dirt above you? She will use her operations at once. She will pull you out of the darkness back into the world of living, and then she will hold you close. She will embrace you. She cannot mean to cause you any harm, knowing she was not so good to you and so kind. Will she bury you? You cry out to her so loudly feared your vocal cords might tear, all the blanket against the roof of your compact prison. You cry desperately, helplessly. To your relief, your cries do not fall upon deaf ears. The sound of the falling soil stops, albeit briefly. Then you hear a voice. The voice is very faint, given a filtered throughout your coffin's sturdy lid, but you recognize it. So you're awake then, oh you dear one, the Gravedigger says. She sighs. Then she says, in a perplexed sort of voice, now that is a pickle. Hoping you'll be asleep for a couple of more hours. So the last time we spoke could have been a better times. What? If you keep screaming like that, I won't feel bad. Your companion's words, though distant, are unmistakable. You were so tense you utter every single syllable, each of them makes you gasp. Was this not a mistake then? Did she only meant to bury you alive? You posed the question of the Gravedigger as best you can. Try to keep your tremors to the voice you can do. Perhaps you think in your optimism that you did not let her know how afraid you are. She will reward you of your bravery and let you go. If this is what you were hoping, though, it is in vain. That's right! You really do catch on quick. So it would appear that she really committed to the task of burying you. Was an unfortunate turn of events. Why, though? Why would she do such a thing? You thought she was your friend. We are friends, the Gravedigger says, her voice still whirring offhand. Worryingly empty. I'm very fond of you. There's nobody dearer to me than you. I've had a really good time with you these last, How long has it been again? I don't remember. Neither do you. Well, there's a lot of detail that slipped both of our minds. It can all be that important. You have other things to worry about. If you really are friends, you say to the Gravedigger, then what you hope you gain by burying you. You do not understand. But you don't understand her replies even less. Well, here's the thing, the Gravedigger says in a risible sort of voice, as though burying somebody alive could even be dealt with risible action. I've been digging graves for a long time, see? You cannot see, it's too dark, but you're affirmed that you all do the same. Well, I was digging all these graves, but I hadn't had anybody to put them in. Not for ages. It was rather sad. You think you know where the train of logic, though it is, might be going, so you do not interrupt her. You know no good will come of it. All you can do is pretend to lie there and listen. I was there thinking I never found another person to bury in this godforsaken village. Not after the plague messed everything up. I was getting desperate. Until you came along, that is. Now that I have somebody I can bury, I'm not gonna let the opportunity pass me by. What? I'm sorry, but this just part of my job. It was my father taught me to do. It's all I know how to do. I buried my mother and I buried my father. I buried my friends. Now I'm going to bury you too. It does sound logical in a sense. At the thought of a gravedigger digging graves in her job, something about it rattles you. If only you could put your finger on it. Ah, yes. There's a bit of a flaw in her reasoning, is there not? You are not dead, after all. You will not be dead now, the Gravedigger says in response to your inoculacy, but you will be, if given enough time. I mean, everybody else I've known died. Who says to say wouldn't you be next? Seems rather more like that you will die quickly, as you persist on her poorly thought-out plan to bury you. Your coffin is not very large. It's afford you precise little space. Eventually, if you travel within it for long enough, you will be run down of oxygen. Then you will suffocate. That or you will starve to death. Either way, your demise will be a slow and painful one. You're unsure which death will be worse, though given how precautioned your situation is, you do not wish to expend the necessary energy needed to ponder it. You need to plead with the Gravedigger and quickly, while she is still here. You tell her tearfully that you will not leave her. Why would you? You try to sound and convince that your swallowed nerves will allow, but the Gravedigger remains unmoved. You say that, she says, but how can I know you're still telling the truth? I thought you said you were a traveler. They never stay put in one place for too long. You get sick of me before long, then you leave me. This way at least I can be assured that we'll always stay together. If I bury you like this, like I did the others, we'll never be far apart. Even I took care of you, put in a nice spot close to my home, so you only have some to throw away, really. Isn't this nice? Oh gosh, she's a yandere. Probably you think the Gravedigger has a different conception of the word nice to you. You don't say this, however. You cannot say much of anything because the panic begins to set in. It is choking you, stopping you from shout so you can only cry. You scream. You beg and you plead, but it does little good. The Gravedigger has already buried her mother. She has already buried her little brothers. She has even buried her father, whom she loved above all else. She thinks by burying you, she's onto you as an act of great kindness. You think that she's going to kill you. In a sense, you are both right. Your options are so diametrically opposed in this matter. However, that you will never be able to find any common ground. You might as well save your screaming. She will not listen to you. She is beyond listening. Shush, shush, little one, says the Gravedigger, very gently, just as gently as he spoke last night, when she confined you in all of her fears. It wouldn't be so bad, really. Nothing about it will hurt you down there. It'll be just like going to sleep for a really, really long time. You can rest for a while. Rest, I'll tend to you. I'll plant flowers on your grave. You like that, wouldn't you? This is where we can always be together. And I'll never be lonely again. While the Gravedigger speaks, she begins to pile up even more soil onto the floor of your coffin. The sound of dirt's on top of you, on your arms, your legs, and your head. It seals your companion's final words. You cannot hear her. You cannot hear anything beyond the sound of dirt, the scraping of the shovel, and your own desperate, frantic screams. You scream and you scream and scream without cease until your throat feels hoarse, but your efforts are in vain. You hammer the lid of the coffin with such strength that you can muster, but the lid coffin is nailed shut. Oh, God, I hate it when it's nailed shut. You're in no position to remove it. All you can do is lie there, screaming, crying, and banging your fists onto the roof coffin. Over and over as more dirt debris falls at you. Eventually, when the dirt falls, shoots out, you scream it's for good. The Gravedigger can no longer hear you, and you can no longer hear her. You are all alone, trapped in a wooden box, which, regardless of what you want, is now your new home. You can smell the soil in the back of your nostrils. When you inhale, it's so important that you can taste it on your tongue. You can taste the eventual inedible decay of your own body. You remain trapped here underground forever and ever. Or, to more or less melodramatic terms, until the last of your energy escapes you and you succumb to your own slow suffocation. It isn't a very pleasant way to go. But you will forgive me if your sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. What? You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions that led you to an untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept the fate of yours and rest in peace, or will you try to fight against it? No, we're gonna save. Nah, fight against your fate. We're gonna fight. If you're not happy with the hands of fate that sealed you, well, I cannot blame you. It's quite a grim ending. I would not wish upon you the worst enemy. Now we're gonna do Kill Bill. We're gonna break her goddamn fucking case. Now, why didn't you give her this another go? You're trying another buried alive this time. How can endure so much of your screaming? What? Your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path would you take? What the fuck? Oh God! So we got our damn it! We're going to the let's go to the shore then. So you want to go to the shore? Good idea. What will you discover there, I wonder? This night is far from over, and there are any numbers of adventures still awaiting you. I hope that you have prepared for yourself in advance, and do hope for your sake that you have learned how to swim. What? I have a sneaking suspicion that this skill might come in handy. You follow the path which leads to the shore, supporting yourself on weary, aching clams, which snap their knees beneath the burden of your weight. Yeah, isn't this the same? No, it's not the same. Never mind. You need to lie down and quickly. You know what, guys, gals, we're gonna end this off here. Oh my God, we're in an hour 44 minutes in. Oh God, yeah, no, we're gonna end this here, guys. We're gonna play this part probably like later. We're gonna go down the shore because God damn, I didn't expect us to be buried alive by the Gravedigger. She was a nice girl too. Oh man, oh God. Now I'm kind of curious. Should I accept our fate? Nah, damn it. Oh man, she's a good girl. Alright, guys and gals, I'll see you guys down the road.